Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing some more hot foiling and I'm doing a Christmas card this time using the Spellbinders Foliage. It's kind of like a border, but it's in one half of it, so you could use it as put half of it onto a piece of cardstock, or you could do it twice like I'm going to, and then you'll have an entire frame and background, which is beautiful. So if you saw my Halloween one, you would have seen that I had found the sweet spot for the foil that I have. I have the Crafter's Companion multi-surface foil, and this is a hot foil. So this is I'm using the Gemini Foilpress machine, and the Gemini itself is next to me on the to the left. And I found a sweet spot on the medium heat and then for 30 seconds. And this seems to work perfectly for me, pretty much anyway. So this is kind of I guess a medium-sized die. So I could have gone maybe a little longer, but I was kind of in the zone at this point with the Halloween. I did all my foiling at the same time for you guys. So I'm adding the foil die, if you like, so the metal plate on top of the nice side, the pretty side of the foil, and then the cardstock is underneath that. And then I use a bit of tape just to hold it in place once I'm happy where it is. I'm going to cut this down anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But if you were trying to get it more precise, you can use a bit of washi tape or a low tack tape, and that should be fine. Now I have the adapter plate on top for the original Gemini, so the big one. I think there's actually an even bigger one than this one, than the original one. But if you have the Gemini Junior, the foil press will just go straight through. It's sort of made for that size machine. But look at that, isn't that beautiful? And that is the Aurora hot foil that I used there. The sentiment dies, or they call them dies, they're plates, are the holiday sentiments. These are from the 2020 collection of Spellbinders. I love Spellbinders anyway, and their hot foil dies are beautiful. So they come up with some beautiful designs, all the different designers that there are, that design for them as well as themselves. It's just stunning. So now I'm using one called Holly, appropriate, I know. And again, I've just got two of the sentiments and a small piece of the hot foil, and I'm just lining them up somewhere on there. The holiday sentiments actually comes with two sort of like strip dies, one that has I guess like decorative holes in it, and the other one is just a straight cut. So these are great if you just want sentiment dies. So even if you don't have a hot foil machine, these actual plate like strip dies, or whatever you want to call them, are or sentiment dies, maybe I should call them that, are perfect for other sentiments you might have. So some of the lawn fawn ones are quite long, that sort of thing. So I'm also using some can't think quick enough, Stampin' Up! Night of Navy cardstock for both for all the foiling parts. I then have the waffle flower, I guess it's like the layers, the A2 layers dies, and I also have a Sunday Drive Christmas add-on. All the actual names of these things will be listed below for you guys and on my blog post, etc. So I'm just using some of the foliage that comes in the sort of add-on for the Sunday Drive, and it's kind of the bits that would go on the back of the car, if you know what the Sunday Drive die looks like. I did some videos last year on that, if you want to check those out. And I'm just using a couple of the pieces, and it creates like a little bit of extra foliage on what would be the back of the car. But I thought it made great sort of added, like a wreath, but not a closed wreath. Maybe like a garland, I guess, just around the sort of edge, top and bottom, and just adding those pieces in. And then there's also a die to cut 2 sizes of what I guess are the poinsettias, being a Christmas set. And so I've cut them out of some silver cardstock, and this is like mirror cardstock, so that stuff is like super shiny. So I will also cut a layer that will go between like underneath this one and then before it goes onto the card base in the same mirror cardstock, but you'll see that in a minute. And I just used 2 of the same size poinsettias and just offset them slightly so that it made them look a bit fuller, if that makes sense. You could also actually, if I thought about it at the time, I could have actually put it onto like a piece of foam, like a mouse pad, and used like a ball tool just to make them sort of curl up a bit, and that would have given them extra dimension on the card. And then I have these Lucy's cards, little things, dies, hello, these little like gems, and you get a ton of them in a little bag, and there's different sizes. So I grabbed the sizes that worked for me, and they actually are, the color I chose is the Peacock, I believe, and it's got the sort of greens and blues, which I thought was perfect for this card because that's the colors I went with for a Christmas card. Now I wouldn't normally do navy on a Christmas card, it's not normally my thing, but I'm quite traditional, but I love it. I think it turned out so lovely. So yeah. And then on the sentiments, I've used that die to cut them out, so it makes these nice little strips. And I've got some foam on, it's like foam on a roll, but it's already sort of narrow. And I'm just put a piece on the back just to give some dimension. I've then got my tweezers, and I'm just going to attempt is the right word, to line these up somewhat straight. What I didn't think about was the gap that was going to be in the middle, but we're going to fix that. You'll see in a second. It looks like they're spaced too far apart, so never mind. We'll fix that. There's always a way to fix something. So I will grab some more of those little poinsettia flowers. I had some of the smaller ones. There's 2 sizes, like I say. And so I decided to put 3 of them in the middle, and I will again look in my gems to see if I can find a smaller gem. I can't remember if I used the same size gem, but either that same size or smaller gem so that it sort of works with the size poinsettia flower. It almost looks like a little star. You could even use it as a bit of a starfish if you were cutting out in different cardstock for a like under the water scene if you needed it. It's kind of got that sort of shape to it that you could use it for a couple different things, not just poinsettias. So in the end I went with that just to kind of, I don't know, make it work. So the thing I like about the Aurora as well is that it's, if you hit it in different lights, so the foiling, you can kind of see it now while I'm gluing. It brings out the, like, almost like the rainbow comes out in the foil. It's so pretty. I think maybe, although it's great for Christmas, I think maybe I should have used a not as shiny a silver. Maybe I should have found something else so that the Aurora foil actually stood out much more and was more vibrant or shiny or more effective. But I still love how it turned out, and like I say, this is an unusual color combination for Christmas for me, so I was really pleased when it actually worked out the way it did. So this panel that I've cut out is probably about, I've used those waffle flower dies, but it's probably about 3 by 5, and then I've gone for the next layer up in those dies, which would be your, I guess, like a 4 by 5 1/4 ish size, and then I have a standard A2 size card, which would be 8.5 by 5.5. So it'd be 4 1/4 by 5.5, and that just layers up so nicely. So sometimes I love using those dies. There's a ton in that set as well, so it's good for all sorts of stuff. And that's pretty much the card. I mean, it's very easy to put together. Yes, there's some hot foiling involved, but I love it. I love how it turned out. It just seemed to work so well together. And although it's different to the Halloween one I've done this week, it's kind of similar in some aspects. So sometimes that's what I'll do if I've got no mojo for this, life takes over sometimes, then I will try and adapt say a Halloween card into a Christmas card, depending on what product used. So I hope you give that a whirl. And I will see you next time, guys. We're nearly into Christmas too. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but yes, we are almost in September. So yes, I hope to see you next time, guys, and I will be back. Bye for now.